Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today we're gonna we're gonna obtain the Maximum new tool. And I'm not gonna say what it is yet. You're gonna have to wait for the unboxing. All right, and getting ready for taking over more of the garage here. My neighborhood association, if you build a carport, they want a really fancy thing with a roof and shingles and all that kind of thing. But they don't care what happens in your backyard. It seems that what happens in the backyard stays in the backyard. So I'm going to put a carport in the backyard, and I've spent the past week or so turning a 4-foot gate into a 10-foot gate and putting down a few concrete blocks where there was grass and that sort of thing. And when I was leaving Home Depot, the young lady there at the register says, "Have a nice day." And I was thinking to myself, well, suppose I woke up this morning and I just didn't want to have a nice day. I decided, well, I think today I'll just have a totally, completely crappy day. And then she asked, she said, "Well, have a nice day." Yeah, what am I supposed to say to that? I don't know. All right. When you got to rent a trailer to haul something heavy, it's always best to have a dual axle trailer because they can balance the load, and the trailer carries all the load, and your vehicle doesn't carry any. But in their wisdom, the trailer rental guys, if you don't have a 3/4 ton truck, they want you to rent a single axle trailer. Now you got the problem of balancing the load on top of that single axle. You don't want too much of the weight forward, and you don't want too much of it in the back. It's a real mess, I think if they just leave you alone and let you rent the trailer you wanted, everything would be better. But anyway, here's a video of receiving a big box and hauling it. I had no video of hauling it home, but it was a trip, and here we are. I even hauled this thing over the bridge that goes over the turning basin, and people can tell you that's one big bridge. High up bridge. Here it comes, right down the ramp. Right onto the trailer. So that's enough of that for now, I guess. Well, the man says he's got the wrong fork there. He had short blades, and he's got to go get the long blades, which is good because it lifted the back end of my truck up pretty good there. But we'll get this thing on here in a minute, I'm sure. That's a big box, and it's a heavy box. Alright, we got in the middle. Everything's great. Ready to go. Well, here we are in the driveway after a tense drive at 40 miles an hour for the halfway across Houston. I managed to get the wheel off the driveway, and I couldn't get it back on there, even switching to 4-wheel drive. So, I mean, I could have kept turning up the yard, I guess, but the boss lady got on my case, so I figured I'll just unload it here on the driveway. Nothing else to do. If I'd been straight on the driveway, that stupid trailer would have set right down on the concrete, but instead it's the corner's in the grass there, so we're going to have to navigate that little bump. I'm sure it'll go alright. Alright, I've got a great deal of it off the trailer. I probably should have let it run a little faster, and then that tail end would have cleared good, but it kind of scared me when it started going. So I let her down, and I had to jack it back up. I'm jacked up about as high as it'll go. So I guess now the only thing to do is crank up the truck and pull the trailer forward a few inches,
and see if they don't set her on the ground. Gently, of course. There's a big old book, thick book, full of instructions right in there for operating this trailer. And I thought I'd pull it out and look at it, but it's too wet and soggy. Just a big old soggy mess, so I stuck it back. Alright, pulling the truck forward a little bit did the job. I've already tilted the bed back level. And so, on to the garage with this thing. Well, lots of sweating and pushing and prying and sweating, and it's starting to go in the garage door now. So, just a little bit more. Alright, so you've seen the video of the unloading, and here it is in the garage, and I'm going to get a crowbar, wrecking bar. Depends on who you talk to is what they call it. When I was a kid, they called that thing a lot of different stuff, and so I never knew for sure what was correct, and I still don't. But hey, I might find out someday. Anyway, I'm going to take the top off of that box, and I'm going to take the sides off, and we're going to see what's inside. Everything's particle board, and that's the fit from the top. I don't know, maybe they set something on top of it. I'm not sure why that's sort of broken in looking. That makes me nervous, but we're going to go ahead and get the top off and find out. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that thing's going to come off in one piece so we can have a dramatic unveiling. Look at that. A genuine Precision Matthews model PM950V. Now all I got to do is finish destroying the crate and get it out of there. That ought to be a lot of fun. I'll wake you guys up after you've had a nap. Alright, so on the end of the table there was a whole lump of stuff and about probably a whole roll of industrial saran wrap. And what we got there is we ordered the clamping fixtures because I got tired of making stuff and ordering one or two things at a time and such. There's this piece that goes somewhere, I don't know, but it was in there. And we have something here, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's going to open up or not. I'll have to open it later. And it came with a little blue toolbox full of tools and a wheel there for probably the spindle and an instruction manual. Power feed instruction manual, a DRO instruction manual, and a milling machine instruction manual. And there they all are, right there. And there's, like I say, there's tools in the toolbox. So, oh, and it came with the rubber stuff to protect the weights. Then kind of accordion shaped jacket. So I'll have to install all that once I get it off that pallet and where it goes in the floor. So let's we'll walk around and take a little tour. As is obvious right there, it's got a X-axis power feed. I wanted to buy the Y-axis power feed also, but they didn't have it. It was out of stock. I bet that's where that little piece come from. I bet it was on that end where they put the X-axis power feed. Okay, on around the machine. Down there at the bottom is a one-shot lubricator. That's something I really like the idea of. Up there on the head, let's zoom back out, is variable speed. Here's the little crank for the variable speed. It's got two pulleys in there. One gets bigger and the other gets smaller, and that changes the speed. I think that's ingenious. I saw Mr. Pete with a drill press like that, I think. Somebody I saw with one. And if you look hanging down under the head there, there's a nice big light. A lot of stuff I'll have to put here and there. I guess you could say some assembly is required because I also ordered the power collet thing, and I think that came just a few minutes ago in a separate box. The UPS truck dropped off something long and heavy. I kind of thought they'd put it on, but they didn't, so that means I gotta. And that table is totally soaked with oil. You can see that. Here's the drawer there. That's good. I don't know what this is. There's a wrench there. Oh, I know what this is. This is one of those easy adjusting chucks. That's what it is. I'd forgot about that. Yeah. Ordered a new chuck to go with it. So there we are. Alright, so now I've got to undo the bolts. You see down at the bottom it's got big old lag bolts holding it onto the pallet. There's a nut laying there. I don't know if somebody did that to drive me nuts or did it fall off of something. I don't know, but you can if you look you can see that nut laying there. Oh, okay. Alright, back to sleep. Well, I got the lag bolts out, and as the man would say, them ain't no mama's boy lag bolts. I worked up a sweat unscrewing those little boogers. They were in 4x4s down in the pallet, and they were screwed in quite well. Oh, wrong way. Back to sleep. Now the job's to slide it off of the pallet onto the pallet jack, and I decided it would slide slicker on metal than on wood because those edges kept catching the boards, and I was right. It moves about 3 times easier like that. So, wrong way. So I will just keep prying it until I get it off on the pallet jack. I expect to keep the pallet jack in the same position. I'll probably have to chain it to the pallet or something. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, the question here is, if I can find it, everything's different when you look through the camera. Huh. Alright, anyway, you see that chain there? Did you ever throw a chain through the hole in a pallet? Could come out the other side. Don't feel bad, I didn't either. I dragged it through there with a rake. Alright, so we're just about up to the interesting spot where I try to shove it off onto the pallet jack. I've got the pallet jack chained to the pallet, and I had to take a little break there. Chuck Bomarito called, and I'm always tickled to death to get a call from him. And we shot the bull for a while, wasted his lunch break, and now I got to get back to work. But I did need a break anyway. I was tired from cranking on that wrecking bar back there. But as you can see, we're making progress. And I guess once I get a little closer to being on the pallet, well, I'll leave the camera running or something. I'll think on it. Take a nap. Okay, I'll just crank the camera up and you guys can watch the thing come off the end there. And those of you that like disasters can hope for a disaster or whatever. I think get the jack down just a little bit. Of course that puts slack in the chain. Now, we'll see. It was crooked. Still on the jack.
Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.